Hi, everybody. Chris Englebert with Englebert Financial Advisers in Allentown, Pennsylvania, with this week's Englebert Angle. And you can see by my slide deck, it is tax preparation time. I want everybody to realize that you can get a formula down so you can make getting your tax information together easier and better as far as tax time goes. So what's happening right now? You should have gotten your W-2 from your employer. Actually, by law, they went out a couple of weeks ago. It usually comes in a smaller envelope. Make sure you don't throw it away. What I always suggest people do for tax time is they get a big file or a big envelope and they write on their 2022 taxes or whatever the year is and start putting everything in that envelope for your CPA. So you should have gotten your W-2 for yourself, for your spouse, for your kids. You should have received them by now. If you did not, many times, depending upon who your payroll provider is, you can go online and download them yourself. Well, that talks about the next thing that you should be getting. You should be getting what are called 1099. So if you have a checking account, a savings account, an investment account, you are going to get a 1099 that shows how much in dividends and interest that you've gotten. You'll also, if you have, for example, an investment account, it'll show all of your proceeds, your long-term gains, your short-term gains, etc. And if you had any other miscellaneous income. So you're getting these 1099s. Make sure that you pull them out of the mail, because sometimes people see them, they're like, oh, it's just another piece of junk mail, and they throw them away. But the other key to it is make sure you can log on to your checking account at your local bank or your investment account. For example, we use TD Ameritrade as our custodian. Our clients can now log on and download all of their 1099s, print them out, and they have them. So you don't have to wait for the mail. You can download them yourself. Now, the other thing you're going to be getting is a 1099-R. Obviously, if you have a retirement account, if it's a beneficiary IRA or a regular IRA account, and you're taking any kind of distribution from that, you will be getting a 1099-R. Make sure you have that information that your accountant gets, because it is very important to show distribution from retirement accounts. So the other thing you should do is also tell your CPA, and I'm going to say that a couple of times, tell your CPA about any big life transaction events that you've had. For example, if you bought a home or sold a home, make sure you keep all of your closing costs. If you refinanced your mortgage, make sure you keep the closing sheet on the refinancing of your mortgage. So any big accounts. Now, obviously, an inheritance, you don't pay taxes on it, but if you got an inheritance early in the year and you invested that money, you're going to be getting a 1099, maybe something you never got before. If you got married, obviously that's going to change your tax situation, and the same as if you got divorced. A birth of a child changes your tax situation to the good, that cute little deduction. But any big events in your life, make sure you talk to your accountant about what's going on. So we're Englebert Financial Advisors. We use a CPA to do our taxes. I cannot stress how many people should really be using a certified professional accountant to do their taxes. Even if you think your taxes are very simple, you end up paying a CPA from anywhere from $300 to $500 to do your taxes. They will help you in case you've overlooked something. The other thing I always also tell people about is that you have to be careful about using online tax situations, because a couple of years ago, there was a big breach with TurboTax out there. It is just not as secure as using a CPA. Make sure you don't fall to scams at the IRS that you see from the IRS standpoint. The IRS is never going to call you. Do not share your Social Security number with anybody either. A couple of years ago, there was a big IRS scam going around where they're calling people and saying, you're going to get an IRS lien on your property if you don't give us your Social Security number, etc. The IRS only contacts you via email. But again, that's a big reason why you want to use a CPA. The other reason why you want to do a CPA is that when you go to sign your taxes, make an appointment with your CPA. Yes, they're going to be busy, but say to them, hey, after tax season's done, can I do a quick phone call with you or an in-person meeting? And can we talk about strategy that I might need to do to lower my taxes? CPAs love it when you talk to them about strategy, because many times people just bring in their information, they do their taxes, they send it out. They see things on your tax returns that you could be doing better. For example, make sure if you make a contribution to your IRA that you tell your CPA, hey, I put $6,000 in my IRA last year, make sure you deduct that. The other thing I tell clients to do is if you're going to make a contribution to your IRA, tell your CPA, hey, I might want to make a contribution to my IRA. Can you run a scenario before you do the final filing of my taxes to see how much money I would save if I threw $2,000, $4,000, $6,000 into an IRA? Some last minute tax saving strategies that your CPA can help you with. But again, after tax season is over, talk to your CPA about what can I do? Should I be putting more money in my 401k, 457, 403b? Are there other deductions I should be taking? So make sure you have a strategy for your taxes as well as a strategy for your investments so that you don't have to stress during tax time. That's all we have this week. We'll be back next week. We'll talk to you soon.